I know that each company is structured differently, right? The classic model, I will say, a regional maintenance director is more of a trusted expert that's being just brought into the picture when there's someone, a service manager or a manager, they're not too experienced to like handle interviews on their own. But there are other companies where like it's a must. Like I used to work for a company that every single service manager had to be interviewed by me. Not that I was the one making the final decision, but it was part of the interviewing process. So I'm curious about in detail, what are your responsibilities when it comes to recruiting?
So the recruiting process looks like kind of, I'll go start to finish on our end. Our HR department obviously is involved. We're in the middle of a revamp with recruiting, kind of dealing with a lot of the challenges that we're talking about today, but that everyone on the call is dealing with as well, with just identifying talent. Once talent arrives, whether they apply, we find them, whatever it is, we have a member of our team, which his position is maintenance operations advisor, but that's essentially a regional role that we have. And he interviews every service manager. So not a technician wide, if it's a technician role, then it would be interviewed by the service manager for that site. If there was no service manager, this person would interview them, and then every service manager is interviewed by them just to get a baseline of, look, does their skill set match up with their resume? That feedback is then given to the site manager, the property manager, to say, okay, this person does know HVAC, they can repair HVAC, or they can just, they're just talking to talk. They really don't have the answers to the questions to back it up. So we always go through that process. Again, we're in a kind of a revamp of the whole recruiting process where we're looking at things very differently than we've historically done, looking at new places to recruit from, looking at other industries that we can potentially pull from, and advertising in different places where historically we do Indeed or just online. LinkedIn necessarily hasn't been a huge resource for technicians necessarily. It's kind of like back and forth with service managers because they're not all on LinkedIn. So there's, as you get to higher roles, regional roles, you're more successful with advertising on LinkedIn, I think. But that's the avenue that, they come in. We definitely have a hand in the interview process. And then from there, make a recommendation on, are they a good fit for this community? And if not, then their skill set doesn't match up here. Maybe they're a good fit for another community, right? We have a heavy focus on identifying the talent. We'll figure out where to put them, right? If someone comes in and they have the attitude, they have experience, and it's like, they're just not a good fit for this role, we try to figure out where we can put them, because we know as soon as we let them out the door, someone else on this call is going to hire them, right? So the neighbor down the street, our competitor, is going to grab them.